Hi there, thank you so much for clicking the thumbnail and being interested in my work. In this video I'll be looking at how to draw ear, looking at the primary and complementary colours, how they mix together. Also I'll be looking at how to correct mistakes and also how to draw jewellery. So be sure to watch it right through to the end because I've slowed things down here and there so you can take a closer look. So let's dive in and take a look. Right, to help me draw and position this so it's actually centered within the area I'm drawing, I always put a center mark exactly in the middle of my board and then find the center of your image and place a mark on the center of your image. Right, for the first thing to do then is just using long marks, angles, trying to find the angles of it. Not too concerned at this point with details. It's just focusing on shapes. I prefer to use the freehand method, but I have got a video out that you can find in my channel that suggests 3 different types of ways to draw the outline. So please check that out and have a look at that at the end of the video. I'll leave a link in the description below. With freehand you have to check the alignment, vertical and horizontal, with your pencil and then compare that with your drawing. Now the best eraser to use on pastel mat, that's the surface I'm using, is the kneaded eraser or putty rubber. Amazing it is how it just sort of lifts the actual pastel away from the board and it don't damage the surface at all, so I'd suggest buying one of those. Right, as well as the vertical and horizontal lines, you also have to check the actual width of objects in relation to the other. So what you're doing there is using your thumb and finger and placing that on the pencil, and then from the point to where your thumb is the measurement, and then comparing that with other shapes. So it's just a matter of trying to find where it lies on your image. Here's the basic colours I'm using for the base coat. Primary colours with additional green and brown there, which I'll go into detail how I use them later. For the shadow areas I'm using dark green and a pencil that is similar colour to an alizarin crimson type shade of red. Just get the colours down, just get some red in there and some yellow ochre, and then just mix a bit of white in with it. For the highlighted areas I usually tend to put white in first, then the colours on top. So it's just a matter of working on the basic shape. We're still drawing at this point, so you're moving things around, so if a thing needs to be changed we can do at this stage. Now to dull a colour down, you use the complementary colour. In this case, because it's red, I'm using green, so that actually dulls it down, so it makes it less vibrant. I'm using my finger then to rub it in. What we're trying to do here is just get rid of that tooth a little bit on the pastel mat. And now if I've gone too far dulling it down, just add a bit of lemon yellow and that brings it back a bit more vibrant. So it's sort of getting the balance between a dull colour and more vibrant colour. So you're mixing the complementary colours just to change the actual feeling of that red. For the shadow areas I'm using a darker green and dark red. But it's a mixture of two of the reds there. One's a cold red, one's a warm red, and then I've got a cold green and a warm green. So I'm using a mixture of the two, then adding the lemon yellow to it to sort of freshen it back up. It's just a case of going from one to the other, really. It's just a play. You play with it and just see what works, you know, and using the blue as well there, just to get that sort of purpley effect in some places. I hope you're enjoying my videos. I'd really appreciate the support if you could just give it a like and share it with your friends. It would mean a lot to me. It would help the channel to grow. Now, I found the easiest way to sharpen pastel pencils is to use a snap-off blade and then just use your thumb behind it and push through, taking off the wood of the pencil. Then once that's done, to sharpen the actual pastel itself, all you need to do is to chamfer it to a point, and then you're good to go. Just to illustrate the actual value system I use a value system of 9, which is 4 lights, 4 darks and 1 mid-tone. And basically what you're doing is trying to judge what shade compares to which value throughout your work. I have got a video which explains the values in the 9 value system, so check that out in my channel at the end of the video if you want to know more. Just to show you how to change something that you've actually put in wrong, well, the stud was put in wrong, so I've had to use putty rubber, which is a kneaded eraser, which lifts off the pigment off the board. But because I've used black and I really pressed on with the pencil, it really does leave quite a significant mark on the board, which is very hard sometimes to actually disguise. So what I do is go back to the basic idea of when you're using the primary colours at the beginning. So you're just using your white and your primary colours just to get the shape back, and then just keep going over that mark until it disappears. Really, you've just got to keep building that pigment up. So just get the shape of the actual stud and just draw it in brown to start with, because that'll be easy to erase if you need to. But then work around the areas around that stud before you do the stud. So what I'm going now is I'm using richer colours, Caran ash richer colours, laying them across the top, and then using the chalkier ones as well. So it's a combination of richer colours, which is a similar colour, and then going over with my primaries over the top. But just subtly trying to get that pigment built up, using that green if it needs to be sort of dulled down a little bit on the red. You can see a richer Caran ash colours going in there. Same with primary colours again, but just a richer colour. The pencil is a lot more vibrant, the pencils are of Caran ash, so it does lift the drawing up a little bit, so that's why I tend to use those for the second coat. But it's a combination of the two really, so it's just a case of playing about with it. But you can see what I'm using here. So it's time now to get the black in, so just a case of going over that brown I put in earlier. And then for the highlight, I've used the Caran ash blue. Now the pigment in these pencils are so intense that it really makes things stand out, so I tend to use those pencils if I need something to stand out or something's more vibrant. I tend to go over with a Caran ash pencil. So it's just a case of playing about and mixing the twos together really. I'll go over the black with blue, or sometimes it's brown. It's best just not to put just black in there, it's best to put another colour over it, because black on its own really does look a bit stark and dead. If you're finding value in this video, why not subscribe? It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss any of my future videos. Now the way I tend to draw is to switch off the mind, open the heart, and just sense as I'm drawing, just let it happen. Now even though I'm drawing an ear, I will try and feel that that ear is listening, like there's a sense of somebody listening, which will give that drawing a sense of something different, something not just like a drawing, it gives it a sense of life. To achieve the necessary texture of the skin, you can use your pencil in different directions. You can do like a crosshatch, or you can do squiggles, and then just build it up on top of that, and all these marks shines through then. Now for the gold jewellery, here's the colours I'm using for that. Always find lemon yellow and a burnt sienna a great colour for gold. Right, the first thing to do is just to map it all out, just get an idea where things are by using I'm using lemon yellow here with the burnt sienna, and then this will actually create a nice gold colour when it's mixed together. To get the highlights, all I'm just doing is turning the tip of the pastel as I'm pushing on the pencil, and it just creates a little dot, and then go over that. Mapping out now again with the white first, get everything sort of in place. Now for the jewel, I've just used a colour that is very similar to what it is on the reference image, mixing that green with like a blue as well, so it's because you never get this right colour, you have to mix it with another one. For the shadow of that piece in the centre there, I've used the green with red, which creates a nice grey, and then highlighted it obviously with white. Now for the gold bits, I've gone over lemon yellow there, and I'm just going through it now slowly but surely, just adding the burnt sienna, and for the shadows there just a bit of burnt umber, and it's just a case of playing about with it and just hopefully it'll all come together. It does take time. Here's the drawing at the correct angle, and what I'm doing now is just working on the edges there using the colour shaper, amazing tool. So all you're doing really is softening some edges and then making sure some edges are quite sharp. If you want like a line to stand out, you make that sharp. If you want something to recede, you make it more blurred. Thank you for watching the video right through to the end. If you found value in it and you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Appreciate it, would help the channel. Leave a comment and a message in the comments below. Let me know what sort of videos you want me to produce. I've actually left a couple of links here for you to click on. And to subscribe, click on the circle here. It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much, take care and be well.